Welcome to the Mal and Johnny Show. So this week, I don't normally get dressed up especially for the occasion, but I thought this week I would. I've got my special grandfather glasses on. I've got my grandfather shirt because Johnny and I are talking about being grandparents. Johnny,
wow.
How many have you got then? How much can you remember altogether?
Yeah, I got 4 grandchildren, and 3 of them are in my house at the moment, upstairs eating crisps.
Because I thought by now they'd all be back in school, you know, we'd be back to normal, you'd have your life back, you know.
No, it's next week.
Next week. Oh, gosh.
I can't wait. Because the daughter's working, you see, well, she works 3 days a week. So the 3 days we have them normally.
Yeah.
But normally you just drop them off at 9 o'clock and you don't see them till 4. But like with holidays, it's murder. No, my other daughter's a school teacher, so she's lucky she has the holiday time at the same time as the child.
Oh, great, great. So right, ages as well, just so we got an idea. I mean, I'm not sure.
The youngest is 3.
Lovely.
Then the next one is, my son's little girl is 4. Mm-hmm. Becky Boo, or Rebecca, her real name, she's 6.
Yeah.
And Alyssa is 7.
Fab. So you've got a good, that's a good spread. That's a good spread.
When they're older, when one's 20 and one's 19, one's 80, I'll be going down with a shotgun. The guys will be around you like flies.
Because we've been through it before. We've all, obviously we've got children. We don't get grandchildren straight away. You have to go through the process of the painful process of having your own children first of all. Somebody said to me the other day, grandchildren are God's way of recompensing you for not killing your own kids. Your reward.
Oh yeah, you go through those periods where it's really. I tell you what. Ellen, she won't mind me telling you, my youngest.
It won't go any further anyway.
She's a wonderful mother now, and she'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
But when she was 15 or 16, she was a nightmare. She went through that period. So I was so cheesed off at one day. I had about 500 quid in the drawer. I said, there's the money, now op it. I don't want to see you. I said, that'll get you somewhere to sleep tonight. You're on your own. Get out. And I threw it out. She was gone for 4 days.
Yeah.
And she came back, she'd stayed with her friend and they'd spent the money.
Had she changed, Johnny? Had she changed, or do you had to change?
No, she was still as bad. She was murder. You know what they're like at that age, especially girls. You know, they got boyfriends and you're worried to death which kind of boyfriend they got. She got a great bloke now.
Lovely bloke. Well, there we are. That's all you ever hope for them, isn't it? That they find somebody that they can.
They're lucky, really. I mean, my one daughter, she's a school teacher. She teaches mathematics.
Lovely. And
her husband he's the deputy head of Whitchurch School. So they're great. You know, then they live, I think, 8 doors away from me.
Oh, I see that.
And the other daughter lives only about a mile away.
Yeah.
She works for the fire service in the office, actually.
Right.
And my son, I don't know what he's doing. He's the one that had an astrophysics degree and a law degree.
Right.
And a teaching degree, and then opened a restaurant.
As you do.
And lost all his money.
That's right, isn't it? How do you make a small fortune running a restaurant? Start with a big one.
That's right. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know about you, but probably because you're a bit like me. I didn't see as much as the kids when they were little as I should have, because I was always travelling away and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd go away for, say, 3 months at a time. I'd be in Australia or Africa or somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, me and the first wife split up when they were about 5. And then I was a weekend dad then.
All right. Was that tough?
I was down Barry Island with the slot machines with the kids.
Yeah. Was that hard? Was that hard? I mean,
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, let's face it, anybody can fall out of love, if you like, or you go your separate ways. But the children are always your children. Mm-hmm. And it was just when I used to leave, take them back, I'd hate leaving them there. You know what I mean? But there's nothing to do about it. I had to suck it up.
Yeah.
But fortunately, touch wood, they've grown up great. I'm very close to them now still. I mean, my daughters will be up here in a minute, pick the other one up. She only lives down the road. Yeah. So they start, can you pick up the daughter from school today? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm very close to them all,
That's fantastic. So I've got one granddaughter so far, but I've got 2 more on order. For October, and they both their daughters live fairly close by, so they're both enormous at the moment. A bit tricky because the whole thing about being jabbed. Because when they were pregnant, first of all, it was like don't have it. Then it was it's up to you, and now it's you should get jabbed. So they've only just had their first jab. So we're trying to be. So if I get a gig somewhere or have to go out somewhere, I'm in purdah for like 5 or 6 days until I can prove I'm clean again. You know, it's like ringing a bell.
Until they've had the two.
Yeah, until they've had the two jabs. So, right, experiences now then, Johnny, because obviously you're far more experienced than me. What I did notice was it is very different. It's very different experience being a grandparent than being a parent. And I've been trying to work out why. Now, you've obviously must have thought about this. I wasn't sure whether it was because I'm not so tired or whether I'm not quite so responsible, whether I don't have to discipline them quite as much as their mum and dad. What is it, do you think? What is so great about being a grandparent?
Well, I know the old adage, you can hand them back. In my case, I got them more than the mother. And it's hard work, and I'm tired all the time. But I don't know what it is. I think you become more patient and you give in too much. I mean, with your own kids, you say, shut up, sit down, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
With the little ones, they say, oh, all right then. Like this morning, I took them down the park. And then the other one turned up, my other daughters, to play with them. So I had the three of them in the park.
Yeah.
All we went to the shops. So I had to come back here. Then I wanted cheese on toast. One wanted cheese on toast. One wanted something else. One wanted a ham sandwich and one wanted tuna sandwich. Right? That's the start. But they wanted to go to the shop first, the village shop, for chocolate. I said, well, you're not eating it until after you've had your lunch.
Of course, that's fair. No, good rule to have.
So they go in the shop and they don't know what they want. They go in, oh, I'll have that. No, I won't have that. I'll have that. No, I said, if you don't hurry up, you'll have enough. But I give in. I shouldn't actually take them to the shop. If any of me, Mike, would say, no, you're not having any chocolate. You had some yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
But I think you do. You give in more to grandchildren. I don't know. It's a different kind of love. It's a weird one. You can't explain it.
Yeah. One of my friends told me it was like there was a door in his heart that opened up that he never knew existed until he had grandchildren.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
They are fun to, especially when they're little, they're so lovable.
Yeah.
And they come up to you and the little one who's 3 says, I love you, Tide. I said, I love you too. I mean, she just comes out with it,
Yeah. I had so I've been a bit of purdah because I was doing a bit of a job with lots of people, and then so I had to miss out. So it was nice getting back together. There was a little bit of shyness at the beginning with my Mirabelle, and then we went down to the beach and she fell over. She said, "I think I've broken something." She's only 2.
Oh no! Oh no!
She didn't cry or anything. She said, "Oh, I think I've broken something." They do come out. Kids come out with the funniest things, don't they?
Oh, some of the lines like that. Are they so grown up, like the 3-year-old? Tide, I'm done here. I mean, that's not a kid's phrase.
No.
She's heard it somewhere.
Yes.
I'm done here. Oh, and they come up with long words they hear on television.
Yeah.
I remember my boy when he was little. He was about 3 and he used to sit in a little wicker chair and watch television. And there was something going on. I said, what are they doing on there, David? He said, they're tessellating. I said, oh, yeah. I said, what's tessellating? He said, well, if you cut a piece of cardboard and then you put it together a bit like a jigsaw, that's tessellation. I mean, he was 3.
Goodness me.
But he'd learned it from the television, you see.
Tell me where they picked
And
these
he turned out to be an astrophysicist afterward. Yeah. So I suppose he must have been in his brain. His lovely line is, it's not rocket science, but if it was, I could do that anyway.
That's going to win every argument, doesn't it? That's good. I actually remember my being told that the kids one morning over breakfast asked their mother, where's Dad? And she had to say, well, he's been away in America for 2 weeks. They'd only just noticed. It's a bit quiet on it. But I'm sure they have forgiven me because they're long. The thing is, there are long periods when you are at home when you're a dad in the entertainment,
right.
Isn't it? So it is swings and roundabouts.
And you're home 24 hours a day, not like you haven't got a 9 to 5. Because if you think of an ordinary person, they get up in the morning, they go to work at 8. They don't see the kids. They come home probably just before they go to bed.
Yeah.
So they don't see as much of them, I suppose, as we do when we're at home because we're there 24/7.
Yeah. Now then.
So how old are your daughters now?
Daughters are 30. My daughters are 32. Is it 32 and 28? Something like that. 32 and 28. Maybe a bit older.
Right.
Maybe so. They come late to it, because they have these days. They do, Johnny. They do these days.
They do. I mean, Owen was 38. They said she was a geriatric having Ellen.
Wow.
She said, oh, thanks a lot.
Appreciate that.
But now there are people having kids at 45.
Yeah. Well, some blokes I know are having them at 80, Johnny.
Oh, that's pretty. That's different.
That's very different. That's very different. Now then,
I do a lovely joke about that. I'll tell you this joke.
Go on then. Go on.
This woman, she can't conceive, so she goes to the doctor and said, you can have artificial insemination. She said, well, can I choose? Yeah, you can choose what you like. You can have blue-eyed boy if you want, redhead. Nice. You know, she said, I'll have a bottle of blue-eyed boy with green eyes. He said, I'm out of bottle. She said, okay, I'll have draft.
Right then, characters, because, you know, you treat them all the same. We do the same with the kids, treat them all the same, but they're all very different. Are they all entertainers, your grandchildren?
Well, they love to go in my props basket and put the top hat on and pull the stick out and the tap shoes, and they're all jumping about in the garage, you know.
Right.
But I think most kids do that, don't they? They all play theatres when they're little. Mm-hmm. I got a feeling that's it. I mean, I was brought up in the theatre, so it was like second nature to me.
Yeah.
But I think because they've only ever known me and Alwyn in show business, in pantomimes or on television or whatever, so to them it's like normal.
Yes. Yeah.
And the little kids, the grandchildren, they're the same. They just watch it and think, oh, there's John there, Dad there, boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I suppose it's the same with you.
I think it is, yes. She hardly turns, you know, we've done a couple of songs of praise lately, and in fact, one of them, I sang a song about her. So I think when it actually went out, because it goes out a funny time, Songs of Praise now, it goes out sort of lunchtime on a Sunday, which I think was bedtime for her, a little nap in the afternoon, so we went down afterwards and put it on, you know, on the computer. And so we're all gathered around it, and she's there as well. It's look, you know, Baba's singing, and so she's watching me. And then after about a minute, she went, "Can we turn it off now? Go on, play." I thought, great, you know.
And you know, the first time my boy saw me on TV, he was a little, about 3 or 4, and I think my mother-in-law said, "Who's that on the television?" That's Dad. No, she said, but it's not the real Dad. So what do you mean? Well, the real Dad's in the kitchen. It wasn't the real Dad.
That's great. That is great.
Yeah. But I was in town yesterday. We took the baby with us. Well, she's 3. And all we wanted to buy a dress. So I'm in Lewis's, and there was a little couch there outside the changing room. Yeah. And there was a girl sitting there, about 20, 21, whatever she was. So the little one just got on and sat right next to her like it was her mother. So close like this. So the girl looked and said, "Hello, what's your name?" She said, "Georgina, how old are you?" She said, 3. She said, "Do you know how old I am?" She said, "You're 4. Because 4 is older than 3. You're 4. She said, "No, I'm 21. Oh. Yeah. They say lovely things. They say some funny things.
Yeah. What about, do you have sleepovers? Do you know?
Normally, no, because they live so close anyway. Yeah. But when they sleep over, they don't sleep. Yeah. They're in my bed, or they're in, they're back and forth. Yeah. They don't really like it. They like their own bed, their own space, kids, I think. Because I don't know about you, when I was a kid and I slept over, we didn't used to sleep. No. You playing about.
Midnight feast, pillow fights.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. I mean, you take the 4 I got. I mean, they're like friends, you know. Yeah. Although they're cousins, they're first cousins, but they're friends. Yeah. And they can't wait to see her. Where's Becky Boo? She's gone out. Oh, I wanted to come round to play with me. Yeah. So, like, today I was in the park with 2 of them, and then my other daughter rang up. I said, "Where's Becky Boo? Bring her down the park." So she dropped her off and went shopping. So then she said, "Will you feed them? They haven't had their lunch." So that's where they come back making these sandwiches and so on. I've left them upstairs now watching videos.
Oh, well done, well done. Yeah, and Alwyn, now who's the toughest? You or Alwyn with them?
Alwyn's the toughest. Yeah. Most women are, I think. Men are pushovers. Especially for little girls. You've got no chance.
What do you want?
Ty, get me so-and-so. Ty, can I have that? So I go in the shop, and they're wandering about looking at all these different sweets. I'll have one of those. No, I'll have this. No, I said, if you don't hurry up, I'm going. But they cost you a fortune.
Oh, goodness me. Well, Barry Island must have wiped you out this summer.
I took them down the bay the other day. I mean, a ride was 3-4 quid, and they wanted about 6 of them each. I mean, you come out, you've done 50 quid.
Goodness me.
I mean, you think, blinking heck, it used to be 2pence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they want chips, or they want ice cream. But it's only once a day. They go back to school next year.
Exactly. Well, there we are.
And we got it, so we may as well spend it.
Well, they either get it now, Johnny, or they get it later. You know,
later.
I keep on telling them I'm spending your inheritance every time I buy them something. So it's
that's right.
It's up to them to make.
My son David said, "Spend it all." He said, "I don't want it." I said, "Well, you can have my house when I'm gone, I said, but I probably will spend them.
What they say, if you die in debt, in love, and slightly drunk. That's the way. That's the best way to go. That's slightly.
I want to be shot to death by an irate husband at the age of 96. But I don't think I will.
I did. What was the other one I heard the other day? I'd like to pass away in my sleep like my grandfather, rather than screaming and shouting like the three people in the car with him at the time he was driving.
I remember that one. I think it was a Bob Bungo. Was
it Bob Bungo?
Yeah, he said, "I'm screaming in panic like his passenger." That was the one.
Look, and anyway, now that I know you've got the grandchildren upstairs, so it's probably all kicking off. It's probably
I can hear doors banging.
Oh gosh, carnage.
I let them get on with it. And I tidy up when they've gone. It's like a bomb's gone off.
All right, Johnny Tudor. Love to all of it as well, and to all the folk, Betty Boo and all everybody, and Becky Boo and everybody.
There's Becky Boo, there's Blossom, there's Alyssa, and there's Georgina.
Fantastic. There we are. All right, I'll see you soon.
All right,
God bless. Bye. Bye.